Welcome to Big Blend Radio with your hosts, Lisa and Nancy, editors of BigBlendMagazine.com.
Hey, everybody. We're going to eat, drink, and be merry in Natchitoches, Louisiana today. You know, every third Tuesday, we talk about Natchitoches. And Natchitoches is the oldest settlement in the state of Louisiana. And so some people, I just saw it in Southern Living, they said, Natchitoches is like, you know, the other sister of New Orleans, kind of, right? Is that what it is? I don't know, but we got Arlene Gould and
the other
Kelli,
sister.
the other sister. Well, the sister. The sister?
The sister?
The sister.
Yeah.
The
Well,
sister.
actually, we're the big sister because we were here first. So, you know.
See?
There.
So, yeah, New Orleans is the baby sister.
Yeah, New Orleans.
Ooh.
So everyone, that's Arlene Gould. We got Kelli West
I
here.
can do that because I can say that because I'm from New Orleans. So
She's
it's
from
okay.
New Orleans.
It's all good.
It's good. It's
But-
good as long as they're still there, you know?
Oh, yeah.
But you guys have, again, making accolades like just more awards, best small towns, food lists, you know, all of this good stuff. You know, Natchitoches, once people find Natchitoches, they go, I'm not gonna like miss this again. It gets under your skin. Like for Nancy and I traveling, you know, we keep coming back and we will. There's no way 2022 is going by without Nancy and I visiting. We're just trying to do it not in July, but because every time we keep coming the same week in July, it happens. But I swear to God, it probably actually will. It probably will happen, but I'll take it. I'll take it. But everyone, Natchitoches is the oldest settlement in the state of Louisiana. And go to Natchitoches.com. Kelli, tell everybody how to. I do my spelling, but it's your turn.
You do a great job too. You can find us at Natchitoches.com, Natchitoches.com.
I feel like we should
There
have
you
a
go.
bouncing ball on this Zoom call, like bing, bing, bing.
NATCHITOHES. Follow
Did
the
we do it?
bouncing
Now,
ball.
look at Kelli's face. She's like, did we do it right?
NATCHITOCHES.
We can sing it to the Mickey Mouse song.
Yeah, we could. We could. I like this.
NOTCHITOCHES.
Okay, everybody, keep it under 30 seconds so we don't have to pay royalties.
Oh, shoot.
I love it.
Sorry,
But
Nikki.
But welcome back on the show. You know, last time you were on the show, we were talking about 22 must-do experiences in Natchitoches for 2022. That turned out to be quite a list. It's featured in our latest issue of Parks and Travel magazine. I think some people may have got a little jealous because you kind of hounded the magazine. I'm just saying. You know, you guys have a lot of, well, you know, 22 things. It's, you know, 22 experiences. But that wasn't listing everything within the experience. And one of them is food and eat, drink, and be merry in Natchitoches. It's a whole lot of fun. Now, let's talk about what we can drink. Let's start there first. Daiquiris, drive-through daiquiris.
The daiquiris. The drive-through daiquiris are always a hit. And it's not eggnog daiquiri season anymore, but we are in full throttle Mardi Gras season. So that just gives another reason. But,
what happens with Mardi Gras? I mean, is there a flavor for Mardi Gras?
No, it's just a fun, festive season. You know, it's kind of like, you know, it's the carnival season, January 6th through, I think Mardi Gras on March the 1st this year. So it's kind of like 6 weeks of merriment and parades and just, you know, jolly good times. Then comes Ash Wednesday and everybody has to give up something for Lent. And normally that might be one of the big items that
I give up paying bills.
I give up if I was living there, I'd give up wearing socks.
Socks.
You would need to.
Okay.
That was I'm not going to give up the drive-through daiquiris if I live there and visit. No,
You could give up watching the news. That'd be fun.
I'd rather do that.
TV, a lot of people just give up TV for 40 days, believe it or
I'm-
not.
40
Oh,
days.
40 days.
right.
That's a long
Yeah, 40 days
time.
of late, because then it's Easter, so you got the Easter, it leads up to the Easter season.
Okay, I give up eating spinach. Because I don't like it anyway.
Nancy, you should just give up broccoli.
Oh, I don't even touch that. No.
But she will
could
eat
give
a
up
meat
seafood.
pie.
I
Oh,
could give up seafood easy
we're allergic.
because we're allergic to it.
But we see now, we love Natchitoches, so we would be bad residents because we don't eat seafood.
No, it's all right. It's all good. Everybody's
meat
different.
pie.
So it's kind of like, just, whatever.
That's the beauty of Natchitoches, actually.
They got
me,
meat pies.
It is that
is.
everyone has a cultural background of difference. And I think, like I tell people, you got to go to Natchitoches and see how it's done. Everybody gets along and there's good food and good music and it just feels good. It just, it's like you turn on the TV and you go, oh my God, we're all going to die. And everybody's angry. Then I just go to Natchitoches, get over it. That's the truth. And I think
It's a quaint little town. It is a good place for people to kind of take a step back and relax and,
And it's so
decompress.
pretty.
I had a visitor come in earlier today. It was a couple from Indiana. And I said, oh, it's cold up there. She said, why do you think we left? She said they threw stuff in the car. And she said, when we get down south, we'll figure it all out. But they were the first time here and they just kind of stumbled up on us and they loved it. They were at Toledo Bend, one of the state parks.
oh, nice.
Just loving
Nice.
it. Yep.
Toledo Bend's beautiful too. I mean, that's the thing. You've got all this history and this cultural diversity, which again goes back to the food, but you've got all this nature around you. And I think that's the other thing is like when you're there, even if you're going to all the historical sites like Cane River Creole National Historical Park, Melrose Plantation, you're going to all the state parks, you're in the Cane River National Heritage Area. I mean, there's just so much. But this Kisatchie National Forest, the only national forest in Louisiana in your backyard, you have all of these state parks. By the time you're going to be hungry, you need good food afterwards.
You
So
work up an appetite.
yeah,
Meat pies.
you
You
got
that slogan, feed your soul. So it's kind of like,
feed your soul. Yeah. You got the meat pie. So behind you have
pies.
the designation, right, of the meat pie being a actual state food item. It
I
is
love
the
it.
meat pie. Comes
It's
from
so good.
Natchitoches, like so New Orleans can't make a meat pie and say we've got it.
You can make one, but it won't be the same as a Natchitoches meat pie.
And it will not be
Yeah,
the state meat pie.
it is kind of our staple food item for our city, so it's
But I
It's
think
good.
that is honestly, when you think about Louisiana, part of tourism that comes to your state is about the food. It is about that
Oh, yeah.
experience. And it is about the experience that you have when you get the food, whether it's in a gas station or you're getting beignets with a coffee and la-di-da, it's all as a
La-di-da.
statewide thing. Your food, it's an experience. And
boudin.
Boudin. Listen,
That's
I want
right.
to tell you, we're having a sausage festival radio
Yes.
show for October because it's sausage month. And I'm telling all our
Great.
friends that we're going to do this.
Yes.
I'm like, listen, there's boudin
So
in
we got to
Louisiana,
have boudin in there.
got chorizo in the Southwest. What would you say that you have places with sausage, right? You've got.
Oh yeah, we have.
Oh yeah, meat
everybody.
markets in gas stations.
Gas stations have a lot of boudin and sausage. True, that's true.
So it
So
comes up, even the Southwest Louisiana has boudin. It still comes up in
It's
your
like-
area.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, get your sausage in a gas station.
That's it. That's it. You can get.
Your sausage.
I love
too,
it.
I'd say.
All right, Kelly, tell everybody about the gas station food trail, because this is
Yes.
something that if you haven't been to Louisiana, you've got to understand you can get some of the most not even delicious
Delicious.
food in a
Mm.
gas station in Louisiana. And the
Definitely
no man's
doing-
land. And I'm wearing my t-shirt. Can everybody see?
You
No Man's Land?
are. You are. Yeah. So, our gas stations, a lot of them serve full meals. Not just, the hot dogs on the rollers or pizza, that comes out of a quick oven, but actual hot meals, rice and gravy, smothered pork chops, fried fish, but some of the ones we
Macaroni and
have,
cheese.
macaroni and cheese,
Huge.
stuffed tater tots, but even the ones we have here have something special to them. They may have wings, or they may have even specialty burgers or salads or full breakfast
Tamales
buffet.
and Zwali's. Zwali's got tamales.
Tamales are very easy to pick up at gas stations in the area, especially in No Man's Land, which is the 7 parishes on the west side of Louisiana. That when the Louisiana Purchase territories were originally purchased, this area of Louisiana was just disputed. They weren't sure if it was part of the purchase or if it was still part of Spanish Texas. So it became a land of no law, no rules, no governor, no ruler whatsoever. It was just a no man's land, a neutral ground in between the two countries, basically, for about 3 years.
It was a big party for 3 years with no law and order.
Till it eventually did become part of the Louisiana Purchase territory. But as you travel down through there, you'll find a lot of gas stations that have meat markets and boudin and cracklings and sausage and different styles of meats. But even here, I mean, we have a gas station, which is one of y'all's favorites, French Market.
We love it. We're waiting for you to say the magic words. French Market Express. Listen, it's right. I'm going to do my commercial. It's right there in the hotel circle. It's right there with the gas station. You can go in, you can buy wine, you can buy a whole meal, and you can get your car filled, and you can go back to your hotel room and know you're just totally set and fun. Like you are done. You are set. When you're traveling, you come off the road hungry, tired. You need gas the next morning. But you can go there and get totally filled up.
Everything you need.
Have fun. And it's fun. It is I know I say that. It's weird. People go, like, why are you going in a gas station thinking it's fun?
Because it's fun.
Because they have fun. They have stuffed animals in there. They have toys. They have wine. They have
a little bit of everything.
So they really do, but that was the vision of the owner. So the husband came home one day and said, "Hey, let's buy this gas station." And the wife said, "Okay, but we're going to make it shoppable for women. We are going to make it a place that women feel comfortable going." So she made it look like a little courtyard on the inside.
It's so cool.
So everything kind of goes around the courtyard. The courtyard has the tables and chairs, food. It's got gifts. It has wine. So her husband is a wine connoisseur. So it's not just cheap wine.
See, that's it. Normally,
really nice
and by the
wine.
way, the wine is cold. See, this is the thing. I don't care where you go across the country. In grocery stores, half the time, they don't put the wine, they don't let it be cold. And so when you go in there, they have wine. You can get chilled wine, like actual chilled wine in a gas station. And it's not like wine that makes you want to run away. It's good wine. Like, that's why I say it's fun.
Don't say it.
I'm like,
Good wine.
It's good wine.
we pulled off the highway to go there, and this place is packed. People know about it. It's become a destination.
All the time.
There are certain gas stations across the country that become a destination. There's one in Arizona that we know out in Gila Bend that did the same thing, and they opened up a whole gift shop with Mexican artifacts and decor items and everything. Really, they know everybody needs to stop at that point. They're really, really smart about it. And good food. They have everything. I will say French Market kicks their butt on that, but they don't have a Mexican market with all the decor items, but they have gifts and decor items. But you just don't see
French
it.
Market has a wonderful bakery. They built a whole separate building behind, the original gas station store. And it's a huge bakery and kitchen where they do all their food prep. So,
Which we haven't done. The yam cakes. We haven't done that yet.
Talked about that yet.
And we
Yeah.
haven't had them yet. So that will be on our
Oh, you
list for
haven't?
next time.
No.
We have
Well, you
not
might have
had
to
the
send
yam
me
cake.
your address.
No, we're coming. We're
We might
coming.
have to ship it to you.
No,
We'll do it in
Okay,
person.
we'll hold it for you. I'll make sure.
it's the
Come
yam
on.
cakes.
Come
That's a unique thing that I don't think you're gonna get anywhere in the country that I know of.
Is this like
Not in
yam
a gas station.
pancakes?
Well, not in yam cakes. Yeah, they bake cake with yam in it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, you know, I know
Pecan.
people that do sweet potato and cake, and you know what I mean. So but they do yam, which is related. Are we on the same plane on that? It's I think it's that way.
But yeah, they're
It's a
pretty.
tuber.
It's
It's a tuber cake. We're gonna have to do an interview with them. When we come back, we'll do an interview. We'll go in and do a whole thing. But they have a little bit of everything.
They would
but
love that.
I love
That
that
would
this
be
is a
awesome.
whole gas station food trail, because I think a lot of people going into Louisiana that have not been there will not trust food out of a gas station because they may not have experienced it before. So this lets people know, hey, this is how we eat in Louisiana and it's safe and fine and you can do it, you know?
Yeah.
And trust me, you can.
Construction workers and people that work and, always on the go. Because, I mean, you go there at lunchtime, and I say lunchtime, 10:30 in the morning, and you'll see a lot of the road construction workers and outdoor workers, whatever, lining up to get their lunch meals. And I mean, there'll be 20 people deep sometimes waiting to get a lunch.
Well,
It's awesome.
we see that a lot at another one of our gas stations. It's also on the food trail, 3J's. It's a
Okay.
gas station right on a four-way of just off I-49 and on Highway 1. And they serve wings and burgers and
wow.
some of those
Cool.
hot pods as well. They also have an outdoor shop, so they have a hunting and fishing store attached to their gas station. So that's what makes them a little bit
And
unique.
they're kind of adjacent to a new RV park that's always booked, and it's about a half a mile from the national park site.
Oh, I
wow.
think we were there. I think Nancy and I were there the
Yes,
very
you
first
probably
time we
have
went to Cane River Creole National Historical Park, and we did a video with one of the owners, and because they had all this fishing
That's what I was
gear.
gonna tell. I
Yeah.
think that's the place where when y'all left my house and got lost, remember that night? And then
Oh,
you kind
Yes,
of
I
went.
do remember that night. How can I forget? There
I
were
mean,
things running
you-
around on the road that I didn't know what they were.
Do you
Like
not
only
have,
in Louisiana.
no, but do you have any idea how often we get lost?
Yeah. But Arlene gave me a map and
Seriously.
she said, do not do this. And then I
And then
started
she
driving
did it.
and apparently didn't listen to what Arlene said. And we ended up
See.
in the
That's okay. You
backwoods.
just took the scenic route at nighttime. That's all.
Huh?
You took the scenic route at nighttime.
It makes no sense how we ended up in the backwoods from your house. It makes absolute no sense. To this day, I
But
don't
it
know
was
how
fun.
we ended up there, but we did. And I'm like, Nancy, I think we're by the park and the plantations. We're in Natchez, Louisiana now. We're not even in
You were in
Natchitoches,
totally opposite direction of where you needed to be.
but we're on the Heritage Trail, but at night. But it was beautiful.
It was
But
too
we saw
funny. Now
possums.
you were all good. Something to laugh
Possums
about
and
now.
raccoons, and and there are places on the Cane River National Heritage Trail that you see people have signs saying meat pies, and
All
that's
those
something
Louisiana critters.
we got to bring up the meat pies, because this is
They're so
the
yummy.
designated food item for Natchitoches. You could go to Lazion's and have meat pies, and Nancy's favorite thing, grits. She loves the grits there.
Yeah, I
and
do.
the meat
They're
pies,
nice
but,
and cheesy.
this is something anywhere you go in Natchitoches. This is really, you've got a recipe on your website of how to make a meat pie at home that people can go and look up. But when you really get into it, this is something that's gone down through Native American times, and everybody that's lived in Natchitoches has just kind of changed into what they wanted to do for family almost, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
I think it's
passed down from generation to generation.
And it's funny how everybody's, recipe varies, just like gumbos and even tamales. It's a big thing where all the ladies get together and, you make a big old pot of, meat mix and then you pulling them out, and making the meat pies. Cause it's not something you make 6 of, you make dozens of them. Several dozen,
yeah, if you're gonna
So-
do it right. I think the meat pie's a forerunner to the taco.
Well, I think they're connected because it's like
Yeah.
the Spanish influence with the empanada.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I think you've got the Spanish influence in there, the Native American influence, and then,
Mhm.
Everybody's doing their own thing. But Lazions got into it. That's where people go, right? The mainstay for meat pies. So you can get meat pies anywhere in Natchitoches, but it seems that they kind of like we're the home plate.
Certainly.
Yeah, James Lazion, he was a butcher, I guess, back in the 40s and 50s and early 60s, and he kind of was, mixing the meat for the ladies and that would come into the butcher shop, and he said, well, I'm going to start playing with my own recipe, and he started his own little meat pie kitchen, and here it is 67 years later, and they still got I think it's 57 now. He opened in 1967, so he's got his little, Angela Lazion, who you all probably met, and she took over for her dad. He's deceased now, but they've got a great little restaurant there, so.
She was on our show, I think 2-3 years ago. She was on a show with you all, and and we had a good time there. And then, but you have a meat pie festival. Is that still? Do you think that may happen this year?
Yep.
We have a date
Awesome.
for this year. It's coming back. We're so excited.
Good. And
Cool.
that's the
It'll
thing.
be in September.
That's funny. I was going through photos, and we were doing that 22 things to do in 2022. And by the way, just do them any year. Really doesn't matter. And there's so much more than 22. It was the hardest thing to do is to narrow it down. But I saw meat pies and photos like at the folk festival at NSU. I was just like, I was like, look at this. This lady's like, here it is. She's like serving the meat pie. And I'm like, no way. And I was seeing this even after the feature had gone out. I'm like, man, there's meat pies at every event probably, right? There's going to be someone
Everywhere.
serving meat pies.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Definitely.
So things are coming back, events looking good for that for next
Yeah.
year, or this year, I should
Yeah,
say.
Jazz Fest is on, and Meat Pie Festival's on, and
Cool.
so.
Do you have
Melrose Arts and
daiquiri
Crafts
people at your
on.
festivals? Are there daiquiri people? This is important.
I
Or,
didn't-
or you could go to the drive-through and then
no,
bring it.
not,
Oh, maybe not.
yes. Yes, you can. And then some of the restaurants have daiquiri machines in the restaurants, so
But
you can
get
go
to-go
get
drinks.
the daiquiri and bring
Oh.
it to go down to the festival.
Oh, have daiquiri, we'll travel. Cool.
Ooh.
Exactly.
Well, we need an addition to our car.
Yeah.
Little daiquiri
Ooh.
machine on the back wouldn't be bad. Who needs that extra spare tire? Just put a daiquiri blender on the back. Sounds good. But the other thing too, the restaurants. Let's talk about the restaurants. We've been to a number of them. Remind us about the one. It was one that you took us to. That was like down home Southern cooking buffet and overlooked Sibley Lake. Or is it Lake Sibley?
Almost home.
Almost home. Yeah, it was like home cooking. And that's something
Yep.
that's going to be
Big home
different for people that aren't kind of, there's the buffet kind of.
And it is like home cooking. I mean,
It
it
is.
really is so good. They've been there for a long time. They've been there for several decades. I want to say maybe close to 30 years, but it's overlooking Sibley Lake, and they're only open for lunch. And they have
Oh, wow.
some really good
Lunch
food.
only. That's it.
Mhm. Yep.
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 And when
Wow.
it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah.
So you
I
better
remember
get
that
there.
because I think I wanted some macaroni cheese and someone had already, that's it. It's done. Somebody cleaned up and that was
Yeah.
that.
That would be me.
Well, listen, when anybody talks about Southern food, my first thing is macaroni cheese, even if it's not Southern 100% all the time. I really don't care. Just to me, it's comfort. I think of Southern food as comfort food.
Have you ever had crawfish mac and cheese?
We can't, because
do
we're
the
allergic to
crawfish.
those thingies.
Oh, that's true.
I know, we
it's a
suck.
bummer.
We're so
It's
boring.
My
so-
mind went there too. When you said mac and cheese, I was like, ooh, crawfish mac and cheese.
I know.
Yeah.
I was thinking, crawfish
Well,
mac
last
and
time you were on the show for our anniversary party, Dr. Jackie, I know you all had to go, but she's like, I want my crawfish pie.
I know.
And she's a cardiologist and she don't care. She wants her crawfish pie. Apparently we can all do that.
Crawfish are healthy for you. The mac and
Yeah.
cheese maybe not so much, but the crawfish
Hey,
are good
listen,
for
you can
you.
have a little bit and then go jogging the next day if you're somebody other than
Yeah.
me.
Or do the mini pie. Do a mini pie. You won't feel as bad.
Yeah,
Get
but-
crawfish pie.
Well,
Yeah.
there was the other thing. Grayson's made a list, right? There was a list. Tell us about
Good
the list.
barbecue.
Yeah, that
Yeah, that
Grayson's.
was
Southern.
it was on Only in Your State for Louisiana, and they chose 12 restaurants to highlight that you should eat maybe one a month. And actually Lazion's and Grayson's both made the list. So
Yeah,
out of all
because
the
it's
Awesome.
authentic.
states.
It's so
Mac and
authentic.
cheese too.
Yeah, Lazion's is amazing. You have to do that. If you go to Natchitoches, don't go to
Oh,
Lazion's. Like,
then you
hello.
didn't go.
But Grayson's, it's like it like, to me, it reminds me of Seinfeld with the soup Nazi. Like, you come in and get your soup, and if you're an idiot, like, get out. And they're not like that. They're not rude at all. But there's like, this is the authentic barbecue. They're smoking it, they're cutting it, and it's just so real. And it's, you go in and get your meat, sit down, enjoy it, or go, whatever you're gonna do. But it's so like, it's
Move it.
about they're working the meat, and that's what it's about. And it's really about it. And it is, when you sit down and taste it,
Yeah.
like,
Yum.
you know,
Love.
the words
Yum.
are like, it is
Yum.
like, you are
really
not,
good.
you do not need a knife for that.
That
meat.
ham melts in your mouth. It's like
Exactly. You
so
do
good.
not need a knife.
Mm.
You just, it's like full on flavor. The even the potato salad, like, they are, I
The
mean,
ribs.
Yeah.
it is,
When you said the potato salad, it reminds me of the lady who makes the potato salad, Miss Lucille. She's been working there for over 50 years. I know that recently her health has been down, but Grayson's has been there over 60 years. I want to say 62
Wow.
years.
Wow.
It's we recognize Miss Lucille. The Louisiana Restaurant Association recognized her as a Louisiana restaurant legend because
Oh,
she
wow.
worked there for over 50 years.
Wow.
wow.
That's a long
It's like
time.
Marilyn at Lazion's. I think she's in her 48th year, but we also had recognized her as well. The Louisiana Restaurant Association made her a Louisiana restaurant legend for her years of service at the same restaurant. Can you imagine?
Wow.
48 years.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
That's an
the
icon.
other thing is, you've got different styles of food. Legacy's Cafe I wanted to bring up, because I
Mhm.
think that is just, there's a statue as you go in, and they're really looking at
Mm.
teaching people a skill.
Yeah.
It's like, that was a unique experience going in there, and that is a very positive experience. And I recommend people go there, because they're training people. It's also, they're trying to use as many locally sourced ingredients. Legacy Cafe, especially as I'd say, Black History Month is coming up. That's a good time to go there. But honestly,
Anytime is a good
as
time.
much as I'm a
Good
big
choice.
supporter of Black History Month, but I really think it should be every month. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yes.
I wouldn't wait to go there over that, but you know what I mean? The Legacy Cafe,
Yes.
I
the
think
food
that's
is
something to be really proud of in your community.
Definitely. The food is really fresh. They have
Yes.
a garden on site that they utilize for
Mm.
the ingredients. It's just, soup salad sandwich, but it's just really good ingredients that they use, and it is a workforce training. So they're bringing in these kids that maybe don't have a job or looking to do something different with their life, and train them in a restaurant, train them on the front of house, train them in the back of house, train them to cook, train them, about these foods and ingredients. and about serving the public. And it all takes place. Legacy Cafe is inside the Ben Jonson Foundation building. So Ben Jonson was a civil rights activist during that time, which, by the way, Lisa, I don't know if you saw any of the posts. So yesterday we actually attended a groundbreaking ceremony for our railroad depot here. It was a Texas
cool.
Pacific Railroad depot that in 7 or 8 months, they say, I say Q4 of this year, it will open up as a museum, as the national park office for the supervisors, the quarters for Cane River Creole National Historical Park, with visitor center and museum, highlighting the African American community of Natchitoches and the history that lies there, because there's a lot of history just with that building, but also the community that surrounds it. So that it's a huge wonderful thing.
We're so excited. It's going to be wonderful.
That's happening for our community, but also for the national park. And, they're going to be a lot more visible. People will be able to go there and start their journey in the heritage area and in the historical park.
Because you're in that historical district. That's the thing I always tell people. You go to Natchitoches, you start at the visitor center, you guys, and if they can do a walking tour with the Cane River National Heritage Area, that is highly recommended. But there's self-guided tours, but to have that next to you, that's amazing.
This is going to be just blocks from our office here in the historic district, and it ties in so well, obviously with Oakland Plantation and Magnolia, which was, that's what brought you to Natchitoches in the first place. We're traveling and doing the national park. So it's going to tell the full story, of slavery and segregation and civil rights. And, so it's going to be a good addition to our I just think it's and our story.
It's a good, when people come to Natchitoches, to get it all in this central location, and then venture out to the plantations and the historical park. Like, I know a lot of people are like, oh, get rid of the word plantation. You can't. This is what it was. And you've got to kind of embrace that and understand you have to look at the history. It's hard. It's a hard history to learn. However, if people understand Natchitoches of today, they'll see a unified community working together. And that's, I think, why we love Natchitoches more than anything, is everybody's happy. Of course, every community has its stuff. It's always going to have its stuff. But when you go to Natchitoches, it's just this beautiful feeling where people are accepted. And it's not, I don't even want to use the word accepted. It's like tolerate. I don't want to, it's an inclusive community where people feel at home and comfortable, and have not just moving in there, have been there for generations. This is old history that everyone is working together. So you can have history that's negative and sad. Slavery is something that happened across this country and around the world, but there is a way of communities to come together and to right what was wrong. And I think you guys are a shining example of that. I really do. I hope I said that correctly before anyone yells at me.
And that's what the Cane River region is. And you look at the community around St. Augustine Catholic Church, right? The community that exists there, and the Creole community, and the history that's there. And then, now in that area, we also have Cane River Commissary as another restaurant stop that's right there by the National Historical Park. So while you're kind of in the community, you actually eat at this restaurant that a lot of the dishes are very Creole focused and Creole centered, because it's owned by a family from the Creole community. And so, and it's in an old commissary building.
That's right. That was.
I remember that was open the last time we didn't get to do it. It was like our timing was off, but it was just opening up. I remember driving by with you, Arlene, and going, Yep. We need to come back," while we were looking at the old juke joints that used to be around.
That's right. Well, and now, and even tomorrow morning, they'll have a Zydeco breakfast on tomorrow morning there at the Cane River Commissary. So they usually do it the first Saturday.
Cool.
Saturday. every month. So, and it's very popular. It's
You have
really
Zydeco
I bet.
breakfast?
That's
the
awesome.
breakfast with the live music and all.
That
Dance-
is so
What?
cool.
They do
What?
dancing
That's
and all kind of
awesome.
good stuff, just out there with their mimosas and having a good old time, with
There
some
you go.
That's
Zydeco
it. I'm sending you my travel dates. And Nancy
Yeah.
and I are gonna sit there, we're gonna like, we'll shove,
I
we
wanna
want the
go
Zydeco
Zydeco.
breakfast. I
I
want,
Come
really
on.
do.
okay, listen, but there's you can Zydeco breakfast,
Mhm.
okay, meat pies, right?
Yeah.
Legacy Cafe, you got a brewery, Cane River Brewery, which is, it really does well. And if you go anywhere in Natchitoches, you can probably get a Beta beer, right, which is the local brew of Louisiana.
Mm.
You can go on the Cane River Queen, which is a paddle boat, an
Mm.
old school river boat, and you can have wine while you while you look at the sights
That's
on
right.
the river.
Or you can bring a bucket of beer. You can get you a
Okay.
bucket of half a dozen beers in a bucket and go down
Yep.
cruise
All right. Beer
One
or
of
a
our-
wine.
bucket of beer.
One of our restaurants, you can go up and get a bucket of beer and you can actually leave the bucket on the boat and he returns it for you.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's all
wow.
iced down. You get your bucket of beer and it's all iced down. Go
See,
get
this
it.
Louisiana knows how to party.
That's
Seriously.
right.
That's right.
You do, but in some of the restaurants though, we stayed at Sweet Canaan and the bed and breakfast. So that's another
Mm.
experience. Let's just talk about that and food. How many bed and breakfasts do you have? Because I know you have a lot of vacation rentals. You've got the brand hotels, you've got boutique hotels, but the bed and breakfast, you've got a lot, as I recall.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
officially our official bed and breakfast is about 28-30, but now a lot of Airbnbs have popped up, so they almost outnumber the B&B, regular B&Bs.
Mm.
Well, it's good that you have both because everybody has a different travel style, but the bed and
Exactly.
breakfast,
Right.
part of the whole experience is having the breakfast. you
Mhm.
know, and then going off and, and honestly, Nancy, remember you and I going off to Kisatchie National Forest really
Yeah.
bright and early in the morning and you all looked at us like, you don't have to go there that early. Like, no, we need to be there at the sunrise. And you looked at us like, all right. And
Mhm.
we got up.
And then
we-
it
we
rained.
got- and it rained. You couldn't
It
take
rained.
photos until like the sun
But it was
really
still
came up.
beautiful.
It's like a whole different thing from the Southwest we're from. I'm all like, I'm used to being somewhere at 4 a.m. You don't need to be at 4 a.m. in
No.
Kisatchie National
It's like
Forest.
go.
So
let's
you
go to
can
the
have your
forest in the
breakfast and go
dark.
explore. I just want to tell people it's a whole different thing. You can have your breakfast. I don't care what time of year. You can have your breakfast
Yeah. Or
Till
any time of the
9, 10.
day, really, some of us.
and
I
go
like to
and
eat-
go
I
enjoy.
like to eat breakfast sometimes for dinner. Like if I'm home and I'm hungry and I don't know what to cook for dinner, I'll
Yeah,
cook breakfast.
breakfast.
I'll cook
Yeah.
eggs, bacon.
Where would you say was a good place to go other than a bed and breakfast? Merci beaucoup. Am I saying that right, Kelly?
Yes, for breakfast, I would probably say Lazian's would be your best option. for
Oh yeah,
breakfast.
that's the grits. The
That's so
grits.
Because they're
good.
only
Mercy-
open for breakfast and lunch anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Mercy Boku's only open for lunch.
We went
almost
there for
always.
lunch after our hike in Kisatchie
Mm.
National Forest when we went skidding through the mud in the summer rain.
That was fun.
It was so much fun. And so Kelly's like, we're going to lunch at Mercy Boku. And I'm like, we gotta go change our clothes.
Yeah.
You're funny. I was like, you're
We're-
what?
I'm like, we're full of mud. We're covered in mud. I'm like, just let us
Oh
change
my
our
gosh.
clothes. And
But it was fun.
because even Mercy Boku, the name, I'm like, Nancy, we can't go like this. And but
you
it
know
was
how much-
delicious.
Yeah, but it's so much easier when you're hiking and it rains. You can just sit down and skid down the hill and you don't have it's so much easier. So
Y'all
that was
have
muddy.
too much fun when y'all come here.
I-
No, but Mercy Boku has our famous Cajun baked potato. That's what they're
Mm.
famous for. is their
Ooh.
Cajun baked potato. And it's a
Ooh.
big, baked potato with crawfish etouffee, and then it has
Mm.
shrimp on it. And then at the pub, you have the Wookie, which is their famous little appetizer, but it's not so little. It's a big old plate. I call it a heart attack on a plate. It's French fries with roast beef debris, brisket, and then cheese. Does it have cheese on it too? Yeah. So it's real good.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of some of my, and then you have the Mariners out by the lake, which is the new restaurant. Well, I say it's
Oh,
new.
you haven't done
new
that.
owners. Mariners had been there for over 30 years, and then when The pandemic hit in March of 2020. The owners had closed it, and then new owners picked it up and reopened it just in time for Christmas
Awesome.
festival later that year, and it's doing very well.
I remember
Awesome.
Kelly, after we went to the
Mm.
buffet, at home,
Yeah,
you
It's
took
because
us
it's
around.
so
That's, by the way,
fun.
that's where the photo for the Parks and Travel magazine came from, is when you took us to
That
Lake
view,
Sibley.
yeah, it's a
And
perfect place to watch the sunset.
exactly, and Kelly
Awesome.
sat there telling us it's gonna open up soon, and I went there the night before and had martinis, and I'm looking at her going, what? And you're not taking us for martinis yet, because they weren't open yet. She's like, nanny, nanny, nanny.
they did. They tested. They have a really nice specialty cocktail menu, and they tested a lot of the martinis
On
at
Kelly.
a dinner.
Wait,
Um,
tell her about the wine.
class.
I'll
spectator
test. I'll
Well,
test.
they
Listen.
received a wine spectator award for their wine
No
selection.
way, that's awesome.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Very
and,
cool.
and so they've been recognized already for the work that they're doing. It's chef owned, chef operated. So
Mm.
it's really
Yeah.
delicious foods. They've got a boudin stuffed chicken, so they're bringing in those Creole
No way.
flavors. I'm
Wow.
sorry.
She
I
said
said
no.
no way. I mean, like boudin
No.
stuffed chicken, like
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. And they do now.
That sounds
They
good.
do
Oh,
an
they have the
amazing
boudin-
brunch.
They got the boudin wonton.
They have boudin wonton.
they have
and-
to. Okay, they have to come on our Sausage Fest radio show then.
Yeah. No,
Okay,
they
we
have
to do
to.
that. Okay, but
Yeah.
so they have a brunch, a Sunday brunch.
Yeah.
Yes, and it is amazing, delicious. It is so good.
Cool.
They have one of my favorite things on there is they have a oyster Benedict. So think eggs Benedict, but with fried oysters and andouille sausage, and just that Louisiana
See,
twist.
and Dewey sausage. I knew there was the other
She
thing
said
there. Do you only get
sausage.
By
that
the way,
in
chicken and
Louisiana?
waffles they have on there that they're real
Yeah,
famous.
their chicken and waffles are really good too. Shrimp
You know
and
what?
grits.
We have not had those yet. We have
We
not
need to
had
have
chicken
that.
and waffles yet. Okay.
Okay, put it on your list.
Okay, the list is growing. Okay, so let's
Okay.
go
We'll
back
check
to
it out.
downtown. We've been all over. Let's go back downtown. And you took us to there's Papa's and there's Mama's. So let's get this. And then there was a place with great Bloody Marys, but I think are they coming back? You said they were coming back, Mayu's?
Yes,
Yeah.
they opened back in November, reopened in a much larger space. And not only did they reopen, but the owner also opened a deli and pub on the corner of Church Street and French Street. That space became
Oh.
available, so he snatched it up. So it's called Natchitoches Deli and Pub with pizza and sandwiches, and their muffaletta is
Oh my
excellent.
gosh, so good.
It's a great little stop, lunch or dinner. There on the corner, but my use is a little bit more upscale, steaks and seafoods, for downtown dining. That's delicious.
Mm.
And then, of course, Papa's and Mama's that you mentioned is down there as well. So Papa's is more burgers and sandwiches, and I think they have steaks too. And then Mama's is more seafood. So
Right.
that's
But they have live music in there, right?
They
Mama's
do. They
Blues
have the
Room.
blues room, and they'll have music on the weekends, usually Friday and Saturday nights.
Very cool.
Cool.
And so then there's Maglio's, which is owned by the same people from the Sweet Cane Inn, right? And that's
Yes.
on the riverfront, and that's a
It
little
is.
bit of everything.
It is the only restaurant that is on the Cane River Lake side of the road downtown.
Mm.
So if you want to look out over Cane River Lake while you're eating, that's the place
That's
to
the
go. They have a
place.
deck out back. It's
Mm.
fantastic. And during Christmas, they have a
The Mexican
great view
restaurant,
of the
too.
lights because you
Oh.
can sit right there at the windows looking out over Front Street. And it's just all the lights down Front Street. But there is
Nice.
it's an Italian and Creole mix.
That's
menu.
what's different. Yeah, it's different. It's good. And so, you talk about Christmas lights. Are you both going through withdrawals since it's now after January 6th and the lights are down?
Good. I think we did pretty good. The first few
I'm
weeks,
good for a while.
Well, the first few weeks were busy for us because we were hosting every weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4 weekends.
Yeah,
You went 4 weekends in a row. I made it 3 weekends
It's
in a row.
exhausting.
But yeah, the crowds were, awesome, and just, it was a really good season. I mean,
Cool.
it was nice to see people.
95 years though, right?
95 years,
Of
yeah.
this
Wow.
festival. That's huge.
Yeah.
That's insane. Like, I mean,
Well,
you hear about parades, like
I
a
was gonna
country
say that
parade,
was my
but this
next
is
thing about the
nuts.
parade.
This is huge. This is
Well, we had the
big.
parade this year, and we were excited that the lieutenant governor joined us and rode
Billy
in the
Nungesser?
parade. Huh?
Yes.
Billy
Yeah.
Nungesser, yes. But I have to say, I was so excited this year because Louisiana, for the first time, had a float in the Macy's Thanksgiving
Yes.
Day Parade
And
Awesome.
in the
And
Rose
Macy's.
Bowl, or the Rose Parade.
yes,
So
I saw
it
that.
was like, it was really nice to see. I guess me being from New Orleans and being a
And Los
Mardi
Angeles.
Gras and a Mardi Gras person, it's like, oh, parade.
but wasn't this the first, I saw Billy Nungesser talking on, I watched his speech about all of this. This is the first state that actually got into these parades, both the parades. So this was the
And
first
for the
time.
Rose Parade, we're going to be in there for 2 more years. I think it was a 3-year contract. So
He went in,
that's
dude.
very exciting. And I want to say the same for Macy's because I'm already thinking that's been on my bucket list, the Macy's Parade. So yeah, this might be the year.
This is
But,
awesome.
And it's just a great way to promote tourism in Louisiana.
But
and
that's
show the
it's
world
like the
all the
fourth.
wonderful things that we have to offer. Yeah.
You guys are.
Yeah.
When you think about the different states, Louisiana is definitely, we are who we are, and you guys know how to party. You are like when
We
you
know how to eat.
know how to eat.
Well, the
trust me,
food
I
is
know.
good.
I'm still
The
in
food
trouble. Like I
is
can barely fit my No
exceptional.
Man's Land shirt anymore because I
Mhm.
was there. But but you guys are so full of history, so full of love, and it's just so like it's just one of the best states. And when you go in, you're in Louisiana. You cross that line, you don't have to be
Well,
told you cross the line in. You're
You can
there.
tell
And it's
you can tell by the hospitality.
oh my gosh.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Straight up.
But
No matter where you go, where you walk into, the hospitality is key. It's number one.
and it's important that
Those
people come
communities
back
that
and
were
know.
hard hit.
Mhm.
Even for the communities that were hard hit, South Louisianians, with the hurricanes, and then of course all of us went through the freeze, the hard
Right.
freeze. We always bounce back, and we always try to put a big old smile on our faces and keep
Yeah.
on rolling.
That's because you
It's
know how to make
true.
good food and cocktails. You get together and the music. Well, Billy Nungesser was talking about like how big tourism is to the state of Louisiana, and I think it's the fourth generator of income to your state, which is huge. And you think about that, and everyone always thinks New Orleans, which they really should, and New Orleans is special and has been impacted. But I also think, we got to think about Lake Charles. We got to think about your area, that it's all connected because it's a small state. That's how I look at it. So if you go to Natchitoches, you're helping New Orleans. That's what I want people to
Well, if you're going to
understand.
go there, you need to do them all.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we always say New Orleans is the gateway city, but once we get into New Orleans, there's just so many directions: Baton Rouge, Lake Charles, Lafayette, north to
Yeah.
Alexandria and Natchitoches and Shreveport and even Monroe. I mean, there's so much to see and do throughout the whole state. But even our seafood industry was impacted by these hurricanes, which is huge. I mean, the suppliers of seafood for a lot of parts of the country, the seafood comes from Louisiana. So
And rice. You got to think about
rice,
rice and sugar. You got sugar cane, you got rice, you got so much in
real
your
big
state.
crawfish industry too.
industry's huge here.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. A lot. So everyone go to natchitoches.com. That is the website. It's natchitoches.com.
You did good.
I had no words in front of me, but listen, there's a lot of food. You got to go to the Cane River Candy Company. I'm serious. I'm just still stuck on the candy company. I want candy.
Great option.
It's right next door to the Visitor Bureau. You listen. This is the thing. You get to Natchitoches, go to the visitor bureau, get all the information you need, get the self-walking guide to the downtown district, load up on candy. You're gonna need the sugar
Well,
to get through everything that you're gonna see.
no, but the whole
Candy
the
store's
whole
right next door,
town,
10 feet over, you
It's
know.
such a smart positioning because you
but
are
the
gonna need
whole
all the
city
candy you can
smells
get.
good.
It
It
smells
smells
good.
good.
It's
So
fun.
we got,
know?
we got the candy store on one side and the
Yeah.
coffee shop on the other.
Exactly.
That's
So
it.
it
Get
smells
jacked
good.
up to go because there's so much to do. That's it.
Mm.
I'm serious.
And
But
you're
thank
hungry
you.
the whole time you want to eat. And
I
it's
know.
good to eat because
And they're
it
gonna
smells
make
good.
you go out, walk, have a good time at the historical sites, go in the
Mm.
forest, come back. You got good food
Eat.
waiting, so like you can reward yourself.
And
for
then go
what?
walk.
It's a reward for going out and enjoying an amazing time. It's like so it's paradise. Just go to Natchitoches. It's awesome. Thank you, ladies. As always, every third Tuesday we air our Natchitoches-Louisiana show. It is the oldest settlement in the state of Louisiana. There is so much to do that we can do a monthly show. It's amazing. So again, Natchitoches.com. Keep up with us at bigblendradio.com. Thank you, ladies. We will see
Thanks,
you
ladies.
this year somehow, somewhere. We want our yam cake
Yes, indeed.
and
Come
we
on.
want a daiquiri because we always do.
Yeah, absolutely.